Do you still remember the word for puppy?
小狗，
How did you say, the puppy is cute?
小狗很可爱。
What was the full word for fruit?
水果，
And fruit juice?
果汁，
And what was Apple Corporation?
苹果公司，苹果公司，
And an Apple computer?
苹果电脑，苹果电脑，
And what was the word for brain on its own?
脑子，脑子，
What was the word for alcohol?
酒，
The word for bar is
酒吧，酒吧，酒吧，
third tone, first tone. The bar doesn't have a meaning and it's just a phonetic replacement for the English word bar. So together it's like alcohol bar. How would you say, let's go to the bar?
我们去酒吧吧。
The bar in 酒吧 is actually the same character that we used for let's. However, it has a first tone, whereas the second, ba, has no tone. Listen carefully and see if you can pick out the difference.
我们去酒吧吧。我们去酒吧吧。
Of course, baba, said with a fourth tone then no tone, is also the word for father. But even if you miss the tones, you should be able to interpret the sentence means let's go to the bar and not we go to the alcohol father. Do you remember the word for cup?
杯子，
And how did you say, please give me 2 cups of beer?
请给我2杯啤酒。
Listen to the word for bottle.
瓶子，瓶子，瓶子，瓶子。
That's second tone. You can remember it as the ping sound you get when you flick a bottle. How might you say, a bottle of water?
一瓶水，
So notice, when used as a counter, the z gets dropped, in the same way that 一个杯子 became 一杯水. Say, a cup of fruit juice and a bottle of beer.
一杯果汁和一瓶啤酒。一杯果汁和一瓶啤酒。
Say, my dad would like to go to the bar.
我爸爸想去酒吧。
How might you say, may I drink a bottle of beer?
我可以喝一瓶啤酒吗？
And what was cute?
可爱，
That used the same 可 as 可以, essentially meaning may be loved. And actually, using 可 in other words like this to imply ability is very common. For example, listen to how you would say possibly or perhaps.
可能，可能，可能，可能。
That's the same 能 as to be able, so together it's like may be able, or there is a possibility. If you think about it, in English we frequently say, he may want to go, to mean there's a possibility he wants to go, so the usage is actually pretty similar. Say, he may want to go, or he possibly wants to go.
他可能想去。他可能想去。
By the way, notice 想 is used there as 可能 implies uncertainty. If you used 要, it would actually sound closer to perhaps he will be needed to go, as 要 can also be shorthand for 需要. Now, if 可能 means possible, how might you say impossible or no possibility?
不可能。不可能。
How did you say there are two people or there exist two people?
有两个人。
How would you say there are two bottles of beer, or literally, there exist two bottles of beer?
有两瓶啤酒。
So, how might you say there is a possibility, or there exists a possibility?
有可能。有可能。
Now, using that method, say, there's a possibility he won't come. Remember the subject comes at the beginning.
他有可能不会来。or 他有可能不要来。
And removing the 有, say simply, perhaps he won't go.
他可能不会去。
Now notice, if you used 要 rather than 会in either of those sentences, you would be implying he won't go because he doesn't want to. And finally, do you still remember the word for dog?
狗。狗。
Let's look at the three ways we've used the character 可 so far. How do you say, may I?
我可以吗？
And what was cute? Literally, may be loved.
可爱。
And possible? Literally, may be able.
可能。
Now, how did you say but?
但是。
That word for but is very emphatic. There's another word for but which is a little less emphatic. Listen.
可是。可是。可是。
Third tone, fourth tone. That is literally may be. It's interchangeable with 但是 in nearly every situation, but it conveys a slightly less emphatic contradiction. For example, using 但是, say, I like her, but she doesn't like me.
我喜欢他，但是他不喜欢我。
But now, using 可是, say, I like her, but perhaps she doesn't like me.
我喜欢他，可是他可能不喜欢我。我喜欢他，可是他可能不喜欢我。
Again, both words are grammatically correct in both sentences, but you're more likely to hear 可是 in situations which are less certain. Say, I bought 6 bottles of beer to give him, but perhaps he doesn't drink alcohol.
我买了6瓶啤酒给他，可是他可能不喝酒。我买了6瓶啤酒给他，可是他可能不喝酒。
And notice the standard sentence order of subject, when, where, how is preserved there, as possibly he is translated as 他可能 and not 可能他. Now, finally, just for fun, let's use 3 kers in one sentence and say, but perhaps he's not allowed to.
可是他可能不可以。可是他可能不可以。
Do you remember the word for language?
语言、
And hospital?
医院、
And what about doctor?
医生。
In a restaurant, how would you ask, may we order?
我们可以点菜吗？
What was the Chinese for goodbye? Literally, again see.
再见。
How would you ask, do you want to meet tomorrow?
你要明天见吗？
And what about as an A-B question, do you want to meet tomorrow or the day after tomorrow?
你要明天还是后天见？
But how would you ask as a yes-no question, do you want to meet tomorrow or the day after?
你想明天或者后天见吗？
Say, I still haven't completed my work, or I still haven't finished my work.
我还没完成我的工作。or 我还没做完我的工作。
Say, I still haven't completed my work. Let's meet the day after tomorrow.
我还没完成我的工作，我们后天见吧。
Say, OK, well, let's meet on Sunday then.
好的，那我们星期日见吧。
Ask, have you arrived?
你到了吗？
Reply, not yet, but I'll arrive momentarily.
还没，但我马上就到。
How would you say, I'll give my mum a call, meaning on the phone?
我要给妈妈打电话。
How would you ask, where is she?
她在哪儿？
Reply, she's on a call. Literally, she's calling.
她在打电话。
How did you say, please don't speak?
请不要说话。请不要说话。
Say, she's watching TV.
她在看电视。
Say, I really want to go to the bar, but I have no money.
我很想去酒吧，但是我没有钱。or 我很想去酒吧，可是我没钱。
Ask, when do you start work? Or when do you clock on?
你什么时候上班？
Ask, when do you start class?
你什么时候上课？
What was the word for mango?
芒果。
And what about fruit juice?
果汁。果汁。
Listen to the word for to walk.
走。走。走。走。
Third tone. This word, 走, is extremely versatile. It's translated as to walk, but it can mean to go, move, travel, leave, pass on, visit, to let slip, or even to be in a relationship, in the old-fashioned sense of they're walking out together. We won't cover all these uses, but let's look at a few. How would you say simply, I walk?
我走。
Now that can mean both I walk or I go, depending on the situation. For example, putting a l on the end as a sort of spoken exclamation mark turns the meaning into I'm off or I'm leaving.
我走了。我走了。
That being the case, how would you say we're off?
我们走了。
Now, if you wanted to suggest to a friend that you both leave, you can instead add a ba and say,
我们走吧。我们走吧。
And in fact, let's go is such a common expression, this frequently gets shortened to just.
走吧。
How might you ask, has he still not left?
他还没走吗？他还没走吗？
Using zol, say, maybe he doesn't want to go.
他可能不要走。他可能不要走。
Because there are so many meanings to zol, if you want to use it to say he's walking, you actually need to add another word to the end to clarify that as the meaning. Listen to how the Chinese say he's walking.
他在走路。他在走路。
And how did you say I'm on my way?
我在路上。我在路上。
That's the same fourth tone lu, meaning road. So to say he's walking, the Chinese literally say he's walking road. Now, using chu, how did you say let's go together?
我们一起去吧。
So together was the how in that sentence. So keeping the same word order, how might you say let's go by walking?
我们走路去吧。我们走路去吧。
And how did you say I will go to the movie theatre?
我要去电影院。
So, how would you say, I will walk to the movie theatre? Literally, I will walk to go to the movie theatre.
我要走路去电影院。我要走路去电影院。
And remember, a standard sentence follows the structure of subject, when, where, how, verb, object. So while to walk, 走路, is a verb, it's also taking the role of the how in that sentence, and so comes before the main verb, 去. How did you ask, when do you start work?
你什么时候上班？你什么时候上班？
As mentioned earlier, 上班 is also a verb, effectively meaning to work or to start work. As such, using 去 with it is optional. That being the case, how would you say he walks to work?
他走路上班。or 他走路去上班。
Ask, are you walking to work tomorrow morning?
你明天早上走路上班吗？ or 你明天早上走路去上班吗？